Hello there and welcome. It is now Wednesday, June the 30th, and it is approaching 12 noon here on the East Coast. And we're here for open Q&A time. And it's always a delight to be back with you and to serve you and to help you break through or overcome any challenge that you're faced with, or have a greater understanding of simply how to manifest your every desire. And so, what we've been doing and what we've been doing on a fairly regular basis is on Wednesday, we jump on Facebook and I'll take any questions that people have as it relates to manifestation. But as we begin to do this, and I notice we've got a few folks that are joining us, and as we're beginning to do this, I've been having some thoughts about having some more information sessions for everyone that's in our Facebook group, whether they're in the Peggy McColl fan page or whether they're a part of the Manifestation family, which is a separate group, or which we're broadcasting to right now, or whether it's part of Savvy Wisdom. That one of the thoughts that I had is to do some sessions, some regular sessions on here on social media based on one of my books. And I have 19 of them, so this should be an easy experience. And of course, we could go through an entire year, 1 month focusing on one book and the next month focusing on another book. And what we would essentially do is during these live events or during these sessions, what I would suggest is that we'll focus on a book. So we could start with like Savvy Wisdom as an example, as the first book that we're going to study together. And we get on these calls together on a regular basis, and I'll read some and then I'll explain. I'll take questions, read some more, explain. And so throughout this process, it would give everyone a really deeper understanding from the author's perspective of what was meant by certain things that are in any of these books. So I wondered, how did you guys feel about that idea, for those of you that have been on since I started? And it looks like Liv is here and Laura Lee is here. Welcome. Laurette as well. And of course, Roddy and Jolanda. Who else is here? Casey, Michelle, wonderful. And Barbara. Okay, great. Oh, and we have Mix joined us. Dina is here. Amy is here. Wonderful. Okay, great. All right, well, I'm so delighted to see all your wonderful faces there. Okay, good. Okay, so Laurette, thank you. So Laurette answers the question. She says, wonderful idea. Dina says, sounds great. Okay, perfect. Laura Lee loves Savvy Wisdom. Me too. I was actually just chatting with someone about one of the messages that's in Savvy Wisdom. So wonderful. Okay, Marilyn is here as well. Okay, super. All right, great. So today we are here for 30 minutes to address any questions that you have relevant to manifesting. And well, thank you, Casey. I appreciate you. All right, so we do have one question that was submitted in advance. And by the way, you can certainly submit questions in advance if that's your desire. If you have a question for me and you're not in the programs that I'm offering, in other words, you don't have regular access, you do have a question that you want addressed in this 30-minute period, you can send them in to support@peggymccall.com. Next week, I am on vacation, but I'm planning on doing a live event anyway. And we'll have to check the internet where we're staying, but I am planning on doing one. So for your purposes, know that we will be back here next Wednesday. Okay, the first question that I have here is a question from Sanjeev. And Sanjeev, by the way, Sanjeev, I want to mention to you that one of the things that I notice is on my YouTube channel with the videos that are there, I often see your wonderful comments, your comments of appreciation, or that you really loved the particular message in the video. And I want to thank you for your for sharing, how it impacts you as well. Okay, so the question is, I'm a great fan of your simple explanation of easy to implement strategies. Well, thank you, because that's why we're here. We're here to make it simple so that anyone can understand, and we also give guidance on how to apply. So my question is this is Sanjeev's question. If you have to give only one advice that will be published on front page of a newspaper all around the world, what would that advice be? Wow, what a fabulous question. An absolutely fabulous question. So whenever I'm asked the question, what I do is I'll often just go inside and I allow my intuition to give me the guidance on what would be the absolute perfect answer for that. And so a couple ideas floated into my mind. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm going to share with you both of them. All right, now here's the first one that came to mind when I was reading Sanjeev's question. And the first message that I would love to see on the front page of a magazine, all in bold, that the whole world could see, is this: decide what you would love. Don't let your paradigms in the way. Decide what you would love and understand that you do not, and I would underline not and bold, face it, you do not have to know how. I believe that is the greatest message I ever learned from Bob Proctor. And I've been, friends with Bob for well over 40 years and studied everything that man does. And I believe that's one of the most valuable lessons that I have ever learned, is that you don't have to know how. And the reason why that's so valuable is because, just think about it. Think about a goal that you would love to have in your life and you have no idea how you're going to do it. You don't have to know how. You don't have to know how. But think about a goal. Everyone that's on the call right now, think about that goal. What is that goal that you would absolutely love? All right, what would you love? Now, what happens for a lot of people is, even in response to the question, is they go to the place of, oh, I can't do it, never done it before, I can't see myself doing this. It's just like, what's happening is the paradigms are trying to pull you back. And that's what they do. It's not because they have, the desire to hold you back. Paradigms are designed as they're like an auto response mechanism. It's like your autopilot, because you're programmed. You're a programmed being. I'm a programmed being. And we're programmed based on what we've allowed to enter into our consciousness through repetition that's become one with us, right? Where you know certain things, and you only know it because you've built that belief system with faith. Now, some of the things that we know about ourselves are good and strong and powerful and beautiful, but there's other things that aren't, and they're completely destructive, and they're negative, and they contaminate dreams. And so I really believe the most important message is just decide what you would love and understand you don't have to know how. So that's the first idea that popped in my mind when I saw Sanjeev's question. But the second one, so two actually, it's kind of like two ideas came floating in at the same time. But the first one was the idea of you don't have to know how you're going to accomplish the goal. But the second idea that floated in, so let's say on the front page of this newspaper that Sanjeev has suggested that we put this message, let's say that's on the front page, but let's turn to page 2. All right. Now, this turning to page 2 would be more for those that really have a hunger for great results. Now, how many of you that are on the call right now, out of everyone that's watching this live event, how many of you have a hunger for more? Hey, there's Mario. All right. Hey, Mario. That's my husband's cousin. I guess my cousin by trade. How many of you would really love to experience more in your life? All right. How many of you would love that? I want to see an answer here. Now, I know by the time I say things and people respond, there's a little bit of a delay there. And all right, great. I want to see who else is here. Oh, good. Vladdy is here as well. And Francis is here. Christine is here. Beautiful. I'm just looking for the names that I hadn't mentioned earlier. Sean is here. All right. Give me more, says Sean. I love your hunger. That's awesome. Yay. Vladdy says, me always. Of course. I do. Anne is here. Wonderful. Casey, hungry for more. Beautiful. Francis, yes. Okay, great. I'm hungry. I love that. I'm hangry, says Michelle. That's beautiful. Okay, good. All right. And that's a great place to be, because when you're hungry for more, what does that mean? It means you have a desire, right? And desire is like that fire. It's like the passion that's within you. And so knowing that, you don't have to know how, but yet you have the desire, it doesn't stop there, right? As many of you know, we've got a number of our Destiny coaches that are on here right now. And so what's required next? And this is page 2. Right? So Sanjeev had asked the question, and what would be on page 1? It would be, you don't have to know how, just decide what you would love. You don't have to know how. So we flip over to page 2. And of course, as Sanjeev mentioned in the message that was sent, is that they love the simplicity of the messages that we deliver, and of course the implementation part 2. And so I can't answer a question without getting into the implementation part 2. So page 2 is going to be the how. How do you get there? How do you get to a goal that you've never accomplished before? How do you achieve a dream that you only have just popped into your mind, maybe for a fleeting moment, but you know in your heart you would absolutely love it? Okay, so page 2, discipline yourself. You must discipline yourself. You see, success is not a once in a while thing. It's a way of life. And as you very likely have heard, when you're going for your goals, when you're working toward your goal, the most effective way of accomplishing that goal or manifesting that goal in your life is to feel as if it's here now. Okay? You feel as if it's in your life now, right now. And so if you knew, everyone that's watching this right now, if you knew that your goal was done, it's accomplished, you're looking back, and maybe it's a goal for the rest of this year. So tomorrow is July 1st. Happy Canada Day for our Canadian friends. So tomorrow is July 1st. 6 months remaining in this year. So let's say this year, 2021, was your best year ever by far. And as you know, whether you're going for a goal that's just an incremental step up or whether you're going for a quantum leap, the same effort is required, right? So if we're imagining right now, which is what I'm going to invite you to do, if we're imagining right now as we're about to approach the rest of the year, we've set that goal that we'd absolutely love. And now we're at the end of the year. It's December 31st, 2021, and we're looking back. We're looking back, and what are we seeing? We're looking back, and what we're seeing is our goal is done. Oh my goodness, doesn't that feel great? Your goal is done. It's accomplished. So what's going on? How are you feeling? How are you feeling now that you know that goal is accomplished? Type in the little chat box right now. I want to hear some of the comments of what you would be experiencing and feeling knowing that your goal has already been accomplished. Type it in the chat box right now. Like, I know as I'm asking you these questions, I'm inviting you to get emotionally involved. You must get emotionally involved in the experience of your goal already being accomplished, because as you are emotionally involved, you're in full-on manifestation mode. That's what I like to call it, manifestation mode, which means you are attracting that into your life. You're attracting it into your life. You're absolutely in alignment with it as well. Okay, so here we go. We got Jenny's on here as well. Welcome, Jenny. Good to see you. All right. Okay, good. Very happy is what Jenny's saying. Dana, I feel so proud of myself. Lorette feels fantastic, joy and happy. Mayor Ling says, I'm great. Peg says, total joy and fulfillment. Amelia is happy and grateful, excited of my new life journey. Jenny says, feeling super blessed to bless others more. Oh, I like that. That's awesome. Nicoletta says, happy, more energy. Casey says, excited for the next year. I love that, Casey. And that is such a great thing to say, because the truth is, when you get to the end of the year and you've accomplished that goal, you're never going to resort back to the way you were before or revert back to the way you were before, because the benefit of you accomplishing your dream or your goal is not for what you'll get. It's for who you become in the process. So yeah, KC, I would absolutely be excited about the next year as well. I like what Mick says too, being righteousness is the consciousness of being that which is already a desire to be. Beautiful. I like that. Barbara, absolute greatness. Ooh, and some even dancing things and stars. I love that. So cute. Michelle, joy, excitement, overwhelmed, happy, proud. Overwhelmed, Michelle? That is not an empowering state to be in. I would get rid of that. And the truth is, and I'm glad you mentioned it, I appreciate the honesty. The truth is, if that's part of what you believe you're going to experience, that could sabotage, right? It could end up ultimately holding you back. So be cautious with that. Get rid of that, okay? All right. Anne says, fantastic. Laura Lee says, bliss. Christine Lee says, so grateful to be here. I'm grateful you're here too. Denise, oh, she says, hi, Peggy. Hello, Denise. Okay. I'm just answering the questions that was asked earlier. Love this message. Thank you, Victoria. I appreciate you. Okay. I'm so happy now that I'm enrolling 15 people a week into Medicare, says Shelley. Beautiful. Okay. So page 2, as I started to explain at the top of this hour, is really about the discipline. And discipline is not, that you're going to go to the gym for 30 minutes a day or anything like that. The discipline in consciousness of expanding your awareness, which you want to do to accelerate the process of getting to your goals, and of keeping consistent alignment. The consistent alignment with your outcomes as if they're already in your life, because this is how you want to be living your life, as if it's already done. And the moment any idea, unlike the joy, the bliss, the happiness, whatever the emotions are that you would feel knowing that you're already there, any emotion unlike that, you want to really pay attention to so that you can get rid of it, so you can dissolve it. And what you ultimately do is you don't get rid of it, you're actually replacing it. You're replacing the old paradigms with the new paradigms. Now, how you replace these old paradigms with the new paradigms is through space-time repetition. How do you establish the space-time repetition? You establish the space-time repetition because of your consistent discipline every single day. Every single day. This is what you want to be doing. This is how you want to be living. So you want to wake up in the morning feeling that same emotion of joy, of gratitude, of love, of relief, of pride, as we heard Dana say. You want to be feeling that from the moment you wake up until the moment you go to sleep. And if you're not, you're out of alignment. It's simple, really, really simple. And what it takes is a conscious choice of being aware. You want to be aware. You want to be aware of what you're thinking and feeling at all times. And if your thoughts and your feelings are not in harmony with or not feeling a connection to your outcome as if it's already done, you're not in alignment. Simple, right? And what does this take? It takes this conditioning, which is established by utilizing disciplines. That's why it's so essential for success to discipline yourself. So if someone asks me, what is the one thing that you've done that's made the biggest impact on your results? I would say it's listen to my Power Life script. Now, why has that made such a big impact on my life? Because of what I'm talking about right here, right now. It's a discipline. It's a discipline that I became involved with back in the 1990s. And I became more disciplined as, time went on. But the idea behind the discipline that was established is to make a choice. These are the things that I'm doing every day that are only going to contribute to the outcomes that I desire. And I created a checklist where I would just simply check them off and check them off and check them off every day to the point where it becomes a habit, because you are a habitual being. So if you wake up in the morning, how many of you brush your teeth in the morning? I just want to see in the chat box, how many of you brush your teeth every morning? Now, I do. I mean, it's a habit, right? And so you don't think about it. Now, when was that habit created? That habit was created very likely when you were a little person, a young person. And who taught you that habit? Your guardian, your parent, whoever was raising you, taught you the habit of brushing your teeth on a regular basis. So when you wake up in the morning, depending on what your habits are or your pattern of tasks are every day, when you wake up in the morning, you go in the washroom or whatever and you brush your teeth. You're not thinking about, oh my goodness, I got to brush my teeth and I have to have that on my daily discipline checklist. And you don't think that way because you just do it automatically. Yes, okay. So Mick says, I never brush my teeth. That's funny. So the idea behind it is that you're disciplining yourself every day by implementing things, whether they're simply thoughts, visualization or gratitude or journal writing or listening to your Power Life script. You want to be implementing these things in your life every single day so that you're constantly creating the alignment. Okay, but here's the challenge. Okay, I'm going to talk about a few challenges in this whole equation of manifestation. There's 3 that come to mind immediately. One is people don't set the goals that they'd really love because of paradigms. 2, they don't discipline themselves, so they're never going to get there because they're not disciplined. Or 3, they maybe do set a goal that they'd really love and they do discipline themselves, but the third one might be that they're losing faith because they don't see the result. So they believe that they're doing everything requisite for the fulfillment of their goal, but then it's not there. And then what happens? Poison is what happens. Contamination is what happens. Why? Because they start asking themselves questions like, why is this not working? What am I doing wrong? Right? You ask yourself a question. What does that do? It creates a sense of focus. You give attention to the answer of the question. And when you ask yourself questions like, what am I doing wrong? What are you doing? You're focusing on the negative. You're focusing on what's wrong. Or you ask yourself, why is this not working? It might be working perfectly. Absolutely, because it does work absolutely and perfectly when you work. But the idea of asking those kinds of questions is completely sabotaging. It will kill your dreams. So you want to become very aware of what you're thinking and what you're feeling all the time. All the time. All the time. Not once in a while, all the time. And what it'll do is this will train you, you will train yourself to think positively, to live in the joyous expectancy of the best. Now, when we were raised, when I was raised anyways, did I live in the joyous expectancy of the best? No. I was living in the joyous expectancy of the worst. Actually, it wasn't joyous at all. I was living in the expectancy of the worst. I didn't expect way back when for my life to get better. I didn't expect that I was going to accomplish an idea that popped into my mind or a dream that I had. Not until I got into the study, and certainly not until I disciplined myself. That's why it's so important. But so many people get disillusioned because a period of time is going to lapse and they're thinking, it's not happening. Why am I not getting the sales? Why am I not seeing the results? What am I doing wrong? And it's like poison, 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 contaminate, contaminate, contaminate. And you really want to pay attention to that. Now, if the event occurs where you notice that, okay, I've set a goal that I would absolutely love to accomplish. I've disciplined myself, and now you're waiting as the one who understands. You know how this works, and it's not happening the way it's, you thought it would happen, because it usually doesn't. You be easy on yourself. This is not the point where you get upset at yourself or the universe either. You don't just think God has it in for me and it's like, this is not my destiny or whatever. That's just garbage thinking. That just needs to be immediately eliminated or actually replaced from your mind. And I believe the value in paying attention to what your beliefs are is in recognizing where you need to replace paradigms that are not supporting you. So if the thought comes up in your consciousness that you can't do this, what would be the opposite thought that would be more empowering? A positive thought that you can, that it's already done, in fact. Or if the thought comes up that this is going to create havoc in your life or cause problems in your family, is that supportive or not? No. What would you love? I'd love it to be harmonious. I'd love to have balance in my life. Because success is not a matter of working harder. It's not. It's not at all. I wrote a book on that called Darn Easy. Work half as hard, earn twice as much while living the life of your dreams. It's a matter of working more effectively. And it doesn't have to take like 40 hours a week or 80 hours a week or whatever number of hours. It's not about the hours you're putting in. It's about the energy you're connecting to. This is what's really most important in manifestation. What energy are you connecting to? And when I'm talking about energy that you're connecting to, I'm talking about the feeling states that you're involved in. Are those feeling states a complete congruent alignment with what you desire? And if so, perfect. It's going to manifest. When? We don't know. There's a period of time that's going to elapse before it manifests into form. But you have to understand that. And the only way that you get to that point of understanding it is with your awareness, with an expanded awareness. How do you get to the point of having an expanded awareness? By being a serious student. Like a serious student. Over there on my my credenza, I have a stack of books that I put aside. Now my husband and I are on vacation as of the end of today for about 9 days, and we've rented a lake house that we're going to be going to, and like I'm so addicted to studying and to these materials that a day would not go by where I'm not studying. It's become a habit and I love it. None of it is work. It doesn't feel like work. So this morning my husband was telling me that he's not bringing his golf clubs on his vacation. I said, how come? Why not? And he goes, I just really want to enjoy being at the lake. And he said, I'm going to go fishing and we'll go boating and, we'll just relax. And it's like, perfect. Because I know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be studying. I'm going to be thinking about the business. And I'm going to be thinking about many ways that we can serve our clients in greater and better ways. And so that's where I'm going to be putting my attention. And so this has just become disciplines. You want to develop the disciplines every single day. And how you develop them is by making a conscious choice that you're going to be doing these things every single day so that they become habit. Where, like earlier today, I grabbed my earbuds because I'm going to the spa this evening for some treatments, and I grabbed my little earbuds and I put them in my purse already because I know when I go there, the earbuds are going in and I'm going to be listening for a couple hours of my Power Life script. And so it's just a habit to do that. I keep 2 sets of them charged at all times because of the habit that I'm involved in. So I want to suggest that you get involved in habits that are only going to support you, that are only going to create a greater or perfect alignment with what you desire to experience in your life. That's what I would absolutely suggest. So such a brilliant question. Now, are there any other questions that are here that any of you have that you'd like me to address in the next 5 minutes? Vladdy says, I brush my teeth, I do my squats, and I listen to study audios 3 in 1. Woohoo! That's amazing, Vladdy. I love that Vladdy said that because you can do multiple things at one time. Absolutely. And one of the best ways of really increasing your understanding and your consciousness is to exercise and study at the same time. One of my clients, what he does is he'll go to the gym and he'll sit on, either the elliptical or one of the bikes, and he'll put a book there and he'll read while he's, doing that. Or have another client who plugs in their earbuds, and the whole time that they're at the gym working out, what they're doing is they're listening, either books on audio or whatever. Like last evening, I drove from my home up to my son's house. It's about a 50-minute drive one way. So approximately a couple hours. Actually, it took me an hour because of rush hour last night, and an hour to get there and about an hour to get back. And I listened to my Power Life script several times, about 10 times. And then I listened to a couple books on audio as well. Now, when I'm listening to books on audio, I speed up the listening. And the reason why I do that is usually they're speaking too slow and I can hear a lot faster. So I'll put it at 1.5. So if the book is an hour long, I put it at 1.5. I can hear it a lot faster and it's still going in. And so I think that's amazing. Wouldn't it be a great awareness to laugh at the ridiculous idea that you didn't listen to your Power Life script? Yeah, always listen to that. Okay, great. You have to start all over again. People don't stop going. It will show up. It has to. Yeah, like the thing is that it's so true. Thank you, Dana, for making that post. I love the video you did with the pop and the adding the water. That truly made me realize how important thoughts are. I love that, Dana. Thank you for sharing that. And the truth is, you'll get off track. Everybody gets off track. Everybody gets off track. Vladdy can talk to you about that. I think she got a little bit off track this week, but got herself right back on. I get off track. And so understand that you're going to get off track. Just be easy on yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be loving with yourself and just say, it's in the past, can't do anything about it. And just move on, move forward. Just get back on your horse, if you will, and just start moving in the right direction. Yes, absolutely. One form of study is listening to your Power Life script. Absolutely true. Yes. I swim, breath work, and listen. Oh, nice, Sheena. I like that. That's great. Well, thank you, Amelia. I really appreciate your kindness. I really believe agree habit forming, have a fab time vacation. Thank you. I really believe that this is, success is so incredibly simple. And if you just understand it, I really believe part of the reason why people don't get why it's so simple is because of old paradigms. Right? They're not trained that way. As a child, we're told stop daydreaming. Not everybody, but I certainly was. We're told to stop dreaming, and, in school, you're daydreaming and the teacher, will yell at you and say, stop daydreaming. And so even if you did happen to declare to someone, hey, I've got this dream, I'm going to be an astronaut one day. Yeah, sure you want to do that? Do you realize you have to go to school? Or someone says, I want to be a doctor. Do you realize how many years you have to go to school? And those kinds of things that people hear over and over and over again are how paradigms get formed. But the blessing is change it. Change it. It's like if you decide at whatever age you want to go back to school or you want to go to medical school and you always wanted to be a doctor but you didn't do it now. No one's stopping you from accomplishing your dreams. Most people, the biggest hurdle that's in front of them is in their own consciousness. It's just in there. And that's the great news, because what are you in control of? You're in control of your thinking. You're in control of your feelings. It's like Aldous Huxley said, there's only one corner of the universe that you have control over, and that's yourself. And that is the truth. It's great news. It's great news, my friends. So all you have to do is just say, I'm taking charge. I've made some new decisions. I love this idea. I'm going for it. And if you'd like to go for it and you love our help, we can certainly help you. We've got a program called Skipping Levels. If any of you are interested in quantum leaps for the rest of the year, join in Skipping Levels. July 1st is tomorrow. Wouldn't you love to make, or a better question, how would you love to make the last half of this year the best half by far? Now, I'm certain the answer would be a yes from everybody that's listening, either whether you're on live or whether you're watching the recording. It would be a clear yes. But I have a question for you. What are you doing about it? If you do nothing more, chances are pretty good your results aren't going to change. Might even get worse. So a year ago, my consciousness expanded with an idea, because I chose to experience quantum leaps myself, which I have over the years. And it can continue to happen, because your life can get better and better and better. You can get to a point in your life where you feel a complete sense of fulfillment in every area of your life. And I know it's possible because I'm now living it. I wasn't before. Years ago, my life was miserable. I wouldn't have wanted to be around me if I knew that girl who she was. But the only reason why I can sit here today and talk to you about what we're talking about here is because of what I just said. I made decisions on goals I had no idea how I was going to accomplish. Did I feel fear? Was I scared? Excuse me, I'm choking. Absolutely. But push past it anyways. There's a book on my bookshelf. I'm not necessarily recommending it, but the title will tell you what it's about. And it's a book by Susan Jeffers, and it's called Feel the Fear and Go For It Anyway. And that's the truth. Like, when you're stretching yourself, when you've made a decision that you're going to do something you've never done before, which is really what Skipping Levels is all about, you're going to feel a whole lot of discomfort. Maybe fear. But you know what? It's part of the process. Why? Because you're changing your conditioning, right? Like, if in my house right now, it's kind of hot, actually. It's probably why I'm sitting here sweating like crazy. We turned the air off so that the doggies could go in and out of their doggy door. So if I decide I want to change the environment, change the temperature, I go to the device on the wall and I put the setting to whatever degree I want the temperature to be in the house so it's comfortable, and I push a button. Well, what happens? The air conditioners kick in, and the air conditioners are going to run until we reach the point of where it is that we want to go. This is the same process with your mind. When you condition yourself and you make a commitment, everything that's required once you're moving into action and when you're feeling as if you already have that which you desire, everything is going to be drawn to you. It's going to happen, absolutely happen. I love Victoria Winters is here on the call right now. And she sent me an email earlier this morning. I've been on calls all day long, like boom, 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 going all day long. And she sent this email earlier, and I just scanned it real quickly. But here's what she said in the email. She said, in your book, The Demand Principle, chapter 7 and 8 stand out in my mind. The bolded words therein are words I committed to memory, particularly visualizing while feeling the effects and taking action, and listening to what you tell yourself takes self-awareness, and changing it takes discipline. Now I'm going to copy that. I'm going to take the second part of that. This is from my book, The Demand Principle, and I'm going to put it right here in the chat box. Thank you, Anne. Anne is here as well. All right, great. Okay, so listen to what you tell yourself takes self-awareness. Changing it takes discipline. Thank you, Victoria, for sending me your email, by the way. And I appreciate you, and I appreciate you by showing, that, or, bringing that to my attention here. because it's absolutely true. I know I was going to say I wrote the book. Mick and I wrote the book together. I'll call it a together effort. And Mick wrote the initial version based on my teachings, and then I modified it after that. And so there's lots of love and energy that's gone into that book, The Demand Principle. I'll just grab it off my bookshelf right now so you can see which one it is that Victoria is referring to. But really, this is what we're talking about today. Listening to what you tell yourself takes self-awareness. You want to be really paying attention to what your thoughts are and what your feelings are, because very likely they're not in alignment with what you desire. And so you want to notice when you're thinking a thought that's not alignment, or you're feeling a feeling that's not alignment, and bam, slam that baby and just like, I'm going to change it right now. Now, what I do is there's a number of methods, but I'm going to share with you the most powerful method I found that will create the greater alignment. And that is this. I'll ask myself, what would I love? So if you're thinking, we got a number of our destiny coaches that are on here, number of our members that are in skipping levels that are on here right now. And so the goals that you've set for yourself, I'm assuming are stretch goals, right? They're stretch goals. And when you're disciplining yourself every single day, if you're doing it effectively, you'll still have times where you go out of alignment and you might be thinking, oh, it's not happening. I'm not seeing the results. Why didn't anyone show up for that webinar? Or why did only 3 people show up for that webinar? And you're just giving attention to what's not working and why this isn't happening and why that's not working and and just stop yourself. Like, just stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Don't give that any more energy. Ask yourself, what would I love? Well, I'd love to have blah, blah, blah clients or X number of dollars in revenue. Okay, what does that feel like? So it's a 3-part process, because it involves asking yourself 2 questions. What would I love? And then you get the answer to that. Then you go to, what does that feel like now that I know that that is already in my life? And then 3, you go straight to feeling. That's it, right? Back in alignment, back in alignment, back in alignment. 3 steps. What would I love? What does it feel like now that I'm there? And back in alignment. Now, in Master Key to Wealth by Dr. Joseph Murphy, he says, if you think a negative thought 50 times an hour, reverse it. Now, think about what he said. If you think a negative thought 50 times an hour, some people are thinking it more often, more negative thoughts than that. It's destructive. You've got to really pay attention to what you're giving your energy to, because most people are thinking destructive thoughts. Now, you guys that are here, that are a part of this, that's not where your consciousness is. That's not what you desire. I want to help you. And I know this works, but it's going to take some work. It's going to take some effort on your part. We can definitely help you. So I would recommend, get into skipping levels. For those of you that are here on this call right now, you're not in skipping levels, get in skipping levels. And if you want to talk to Vladdy or Mick about what is that all about, what skipping levels all about, is it a good fit for you, then book an appointment with them. We'll put the link in here right now. Now, I see we've gone beyond our 30 minutes. I've got another call coming up in a little bit. And thank you, Eva. So great. I appreciate you. Thank you, Sheena. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, Dana says, yes, there's so much material. You'll be amazed. Any stage you're at, you will find something for yourself to move forward. Yes, Dana's also in skipping levels, and she is a Destiny coach. We've got a number of our Destiny coaches here. Christine Lee is here. Laura Lee is here. Victoria is here. Ann is here. Who have I missed that is a Destiny coach? Did I miss anyone? Let's see. Did I say Dana, Victoria, Christine? All right, perfect. You're very welcome. All right, everyone, I wish you a wonderful day. I've got another call coming up in a little bit, and then some more client calls, and then it's vacation time. Woohoo! But I'll see you guys next week. I absolutely am committed to getting on board. And oh, thank you so much, Casey. She's going to share the video. Oh, yeah, Barbara is here. Yes, Barbara. Yes, me. Barbara. Oh, thank you, Barbara. I just love you and appreciate you. Thank you, Lorette. I appreciate you. I love that Lorette's always showing up. Demonstrates something about you, Lorette. You're committed to your success. That's wonderful. Okay, everyone. Yeah, Laura Lee. Okay, for my Canadian friends, happy Canada Day. Happy Canada Day. And for hockey fans, go Habs go. Tonight, the Montreal Canadiens are playing the Tampa Bay Lightning again in the Stanley Cup Finals. It's game 2. Didn't go so well for them on Monday in game 1, but we have positive expectation because we're living in the joyous expectancy of the best. All right, everyone, live in the joyous expectancy of the best, and I look forward to serving you again real soon. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys, and thank you for sharing as well. Hey, Martina's here as well. Make sure you share the videos. We love people sharing our videos. We love sharing the knowledge, sharing the wisdom. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate all the kind words. And thank you, Roddy. He's always here, always supporting us. And thank you, Vladdy, and thank you, Mick. All right, I'll see you guys again real soon.